Good morning, Ady Shady here in the place to be. Easy Restorations, welcome along. The sun's out, what more can you say? Just been for a tiny little walk with the dog, just to get him out and stretch both of our legs. Okay, Royal Enfield, Meteor 350. Modifications, they're not really upgrades. I don't like to call them upgrades because they're modifications. What have I done so far? Look at my other videos. Right, I've got to put the 16 tooth sprocket on there. I'm not going to bother filming that because every man and their dog has put a video of themselves changing the sprockets on there. So that's very kind of everybody else. Saves me doing it, doesn't it? Right, handlebars. Now, back in the day, I used to have a Yami. When I was a young nipper, actually, a Yami young XS, yeah, 250 US custom. Oh, hello, you're going in, are you? Fair diddlies. Yeah, Yami 250 XS US custom. I loved that bike. It was a proper cruiser look with the king and queen seat. It had the handlebars with a sort of the rake back on it, like the very small 8 bars, and I loved that look. Now, looking at these, I don't know, but looking at these, I do know. I think I'm going to change from straight to pull axe. I like that. I'll be sitting up higher. Well, I won't. I'll be sitting up straighter. Probably, because the bars will be just angled towards me a little bit better. And I think it will just improve the look of the bike. I'll do a before and after picture and see what you guys think. This is just my personal preference. No other rhyme or reason for it. I found them bars on Evil Bay, which was quite nice. If any of you guys are thinking about doing it, this is the part number. Right, don't jot that number down just yet. If you paused it, take a quick snap of that, and my booger encrusted finger. On the other side, there's that. Alright, if that helps you out, say eBay, there's 7/8 bars, 22mm, and if you look at, there are quite a few on there, but if you like the look of this one at the end of this video, I will put up a picture in a second of the measurements of these bars, so you can get the exact same ones if you like. Right, without delay, let's crack on. It's quite in depth because there's a lot to take off, and I'm still not sure of the top or the bottom mirrors. I just don't know. Look at how misses that. Look, it's perfect, isn't it? Oh, absolutely beautiful. But I just don't know. Riding it, what are the better ones optically? Well, the top ones, without a shadow. If you've got your winter gear on, you won't see anything out of the lower ones. With your summer, with your flip-flops, shorts and t-shirt on, you'll be able to see everything behind you. But there we are. It's just what it is, isn't it? Okay, right. No need to lengthen any of the cables. So that's good news. I did want to come up a little bit more, but unfortunately it's the same length here, so it just is what it is. I wanted to be up here a little bit, perhaps 150mm, something like that, as opposed to 130. But that's what, it's just what it is. Got the grips in the right place, 80 something mil apart, I think they are, whatever they are. So that's all that really mattered to me. So yeah, right, I'm gonna crack on and let's get stripping. I'm jesting. Yeah, like I said, I've just recently bought this second hand from a friend, and he ACF50 this bike to death, and I don't ride this. I haven't ridden this on salty roads yet, so I don't know Must be just in the air, mustn't it? I'm nowhere near the south coast, or any coast, come to think of it. What else was I going to say? Oh yes, I love these little rubbery straps that go around. You just pull. It's easy with 2 hands, obviously. Just pull that like that and they pop off. You see, it's really good, isn't it? I did notice, oh god, here we go again, Easy. Here we go again. Focus. Look, it's starting to split already. Oh, do you know what? I am absolutely dreading taking this thing apart. Am I going to find the same rotten rubber that I found in my that was on my Himalayan? The flaky paint everywhere. It's on the Himalayan. To be fair, at the moment it doesn't look like it. The bar end mirrors were an accessory. I'm not sure where they came from. Whether they're, I don't know. But that's, you know, it's not the end of them, is it? I can take that paint back off and do it properly. It's not difficult. It's what it is, isn't it? Well, I think they're quite expensive. A friend of mine said they're quite a bit. I'm gonna have to look them up later on, see where they came from. Okay, I need to take this screen off. Not because it's crap, it's because it's brilliant, but it's not been put on properly. How can I gauge this? It's just pissed. I need to loosen off everything, straighten it up, and then put it back together. How can I gauge this? I can't really without. Anyway, bit of a fuss spot. Right, let's crack on. I don't want to take anything else off in case I find it another load of shit. Oh dear. I think I should just go back inside, don't you, and just make a brew or something. I've just videoed me taking the handle grip off, and I've looked back at the thing and it's not recorded. So I've had to put it back on. I've had to re-glue it. And let's do it again, shall we? Right. Basically, here's the situation. You need some sort of lube. It's WD-40 sort of equivalent. It's cheaper. And I think it's just as good, if not slightly. Yeah, right. A plastic tool. No screwdrivers in here, guys. Pop that in there. You'll only be able to squeeze it in about 1.5 inches. Thinner. So then once you've got your thing in the opening, stick your bit in there and give it a squirt. Okay. Give it a bit of a wriggle. Push that in further into just about 3/4 or 2/3 even. 3/4 for me. And give that a squirt, and then it'll just start doing this, and then you just literally just pull it off. It's that easy, honest to goodness. I didn't even break out into a sweat, which is quite good. But yeah, definitely glued on, so that's not an issue. I am not going to muck around with taking these these weights out the end of the bars. Specifically, so if I want to put these bars back on or sell the bike later on, this can go back on and it's all genuinely fine. So there we go. That wasn't difficult, was it? It's quite clean. There's obviously a few blobs of glue in there, you just about to see them, but I'll give that a bit of a loofah later on. I've taken the foot pegs out of the foot peg box so I can put in the parts that I take off. Incidentally, which reminded me about these foot pegs, the big wide ones. I have put the original, well, half of the originals back on. Egypt, I completely forgot about it. The originals for this heel toe gear selector, just leave the originals there, guys. The big wide ones, it just doesn't work. You need to rock your foot, and you can't rock your foot on a flat surface. It's just, don't do it. It's rubbish. Those foot pegs, the wide ones, are brilliant on the right bike. So the other 350s, absolutely recommend them to the nth picajoule. The dog is right fussy today. It's like a dog's in and out like a dog's ass. Brain's still not functioning properly, so do forgive me if I pull, stutter, fall over and bang my head or otherwise. But yeah, the original pegs for the 350 Meteor are essential for changing gears properly. Not getting your knickers in a twist. Right, I need to get on. This grip just slides off. That grip has a sleeve inside it. If you've never done one of these before, guys, so you undo the 2 screws or bolts, whatever they are. I think the JIS under there, 2 screws. This clamp comes apart, and you should be able to unclip the cable once you get this slider out of these 2 clam halves. So that should do, but that pop light. So what I might even try and do is get this one loosened off, and the mirror, take them, undo the 2 screws, undo those 2 clams, drop this whole lump off of here, which no, it doesn't. That is on with the mirror stand. So that's just get all that lot off of there, hanging down. Put a blanket or a towel or something over the tank to stop it scratching. Undo the 4 Allen bolts. Now, you can guarantee these are Loctite in there, so I'm going to get me hot air gun, just gently warm up these aluminium pieces at the bottom here. Just gently heat them up, give them a bit of warmth. It should make it easier to undo these Allen bolts, which are probably 99% thread locked in there. Just a bit of heat, great stuff. So once all that's done, the only thing holding the handlebars here is this lot. So if I just undo those 2 screws and those 2 8mm bolts, I should be able to slide the handlebar out, shouldn't I? Without getting involved in opening that clam right up and taking that sleeve out of there and all that nonsense. Yeah, that makes sense. And then on reverse, slide that bit back into there, seat it in, bolt it in, reclamp. That's the plan. Anyway, I think it's time for a brew actually. Hey, I hope everyone's feeling good on this nice and sunny day. First sunny day I think this year, and it's February the something 2024 right now, and it's about 14 degrees, which isn't bad for this time of year for the UK. Okay, right, let's get on. Brew first. It's interesting, isn't it? Who got me brew? Oh, can't wait to get stuck into that. Right, I've undone these 2 JIS screws. Long one at the back, short one at the front there. Like I said, clamshell, open it up, just pop it off and lean it down there. You will notice a little metal pin. See that chrome pin with a blue dot on the end of it? It's just a locating dowel, and it goes in that hole there, so you know exactly where it goes to on the new bars, which mine doesn't have. It has a hole in the bottom. Well, this is going to, it's going to be interesting, don't you? Just know it. So, right, I'm going to put the screws back into that handlebar switch gear, because if I put them back in the box there with the other 2 screws from that side, I'm not going to know which lengths go where. If they're all the same, I don't know. Right, 2 different. Okay. Right, young Caroline has just been to the shops to get some paint, and she's come back with 2 fruit trees. This, it's like that. You go to Lidl's, for a loaf of bread, and you come out with a car. That kind of stuff. Flipping bonkers. Yes, right. Before I undo this 8mm bolt, I'm reckoning that it's thread locked as well. So I'm just going to add a little bit of heat. I've got myself a little hot air gun like that. It pumps out a fair bit. So I'm just going to do it afar. Just for a minute. Just in case it helps. You don't know. You just don't know. But the trouble is, I mean, on the old Himalayan, the bolts that held the handlebars to the clamp bolts, the first one I undid, it was tight to start with, and then it got easier. And when the bolt came out, it brought the threads out with it. I'm being very careful here. Actually, I should have took. Actually, I'll do that. I'll do that whilst I'm being an idiot. I'll just get this rubber boot up out the way a little bit. Wish the Apache Indians would bugger off. I don't know. Anyway. Right, I reckon that's about enough. Off, boy, off! Let's take the old 8mm. And, oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's very nice. How warm is that, incidentally? It's just, it's not cold, but it's not overly hot. But that's what I was going for. Right, I'm going to need 2 hands here because I don't want anything to drop on the floor. Okay, so I've undone these 2. There are 2 actually on this side, and they are going into aluminium. No sign of any thread lock, which is kind of good, but kind of... I'm going to put some back on when I reinstall. So I've taken the bottom half, you pull the cable down, and then take the whole master cylinder that way. I've just zip tied it up out the way, and the top part, which went over there, I'm just going to put that into a safe place right next to the screws. So that's that. You have to unplug the brake light switch cables. They just come off of these 2. Just be gentle with it and pull the connector, not the cable. Okay, now obviously when you reassemble these things, these are plastic, so we don't need thread lock, guys. Right, just in case. I'm not taking a mickey or anything like that, but yeah, it's so easy just, oh, you thread lock everything, but no, it's just plastic, so we don't need to thread lock any of that. This side is just a clamp. There is literally 1 bolt, and it just clams the whole thing together, bolts it all up. So I was hoping to be able to just take that, it was 2 halves, the same as that one, so I could just sort of disconnect it and drop it down. But no, that's why I've taken this side off. Now I'm just going to loosen these 2 JIS screws from underneath, back these off after applying heat, and then I can, when these caps are off, I can just literally move the whole handlebar that way 6 inches, slide that off the end, and then bring it back to plan A, and then slide that out of there. Are you following in the back? Right, good. Yes, she says, yes. Okay, right. Had me brew. That was really gorgeous. I really needed that. Right, let's crack on. No point in stopping and letting brain fry, because it's not good when that happens. Right, guys, first schoolboy error was telling you incorrect information, which I'm very good at. I said, didn't I, to crack off these 4, lift the grips out the way, put the bar that way, slide this off, and then slide that out of there. Well, you have to undo the screws and take this apart, because it has a locating dowel also. So that's clamped on there. It's going to be, you won't be able to move it off of there. So I've removed the 2 screws, JR screws. Or just as well, as I've gone this far, I just as well, see that little cable in there? Just need to pop that out of there. That's quite tricky with one hand. There we go. So that technically should slide off of there, which it does. Ooh, James Bond. Okay, now this is all free and it can hang down there. So this now is a whole lot easier, isn't it? It's just a whole lot easier. Okay, so just need to warm up those 4 clamp bolts, remove that, and the bars will be out the way, and we'll be able to put the nice, cool, custom, you can always count on Winnie. Oh no, she's barless. Never mind. Barless. Barless, I said.
Oh, barless. Okay.
Look what I got to live next door to, look. Videoing this. Right, so just having a quick look. There was no Loctite on these 4 bolts. Not that that's a biggie, but the heat certainly did help. And I wish I put my tripod up, but we've got some powdery. Got the powder in there. Ooh, the old snort. Got the old Captain Snort in there. So that needs a little tiny drop of something in there just to stop that corroding and getting hold. Right. Anyway, that no expense spared. Got the best bedding out of the cupboard. Oh shit, the missus is there. Never mind. Best go. Anyway, a little side note. These bikes do not have the rev gauge, rev counter. So I am going to fit one. It's not here yet, and it's a Chinese one from Kuala Lumpur or somewhere. And when it turns up on the slow boat, I will attempt to install it. So that'll be a future video. So if you want to click like or dislike, whichever, but please hit that subscribe button, because the more members I get, then the more the algorithms promote said videos, and then it gets to a bigger audience. Okay. It doesn't cost anything. That's it. One of them. Right. Let's get these bars. Okay, so there's the new ones. Here's the old ones. Do you know, I was quite surprised. If we look at the quality of that, I know these bikes are built to a budget. Go on then, killer. Let's sort them out. I know these bikes are built to a budget, but I don't know. It just... Am I being picky? Am I really being that picky? But the new bars, which were not very expensive, I might add, seem a much better fit and finish. That is much better. That's sort of twisted, isn't it? A bit like me, really. Anyway, you got that kind of hue, that sort of yellowy hue when the chrome's really thin. Whereas this stuff has got the luster. The luster, blockbuster, right. And the best part for me personally about these new bars is they're an inch shorter either end. It makes it a whole lot easier getting in that gate down there, which is quite tight. So now I won't have to do the steering jig to get the bike in there. Should ride straight through. What the hell? I'm not going to bother at the moment with pilot holes for locating dowels. I'm just going to fit and see how it goes, basically. Right, so there's the old ones, wherever it was, like that or something, don't know. And then the new ones. Yeah. Oh baby, yeah, that's a lot more what I'm after. Right, now I've creamed my pants a couple of times, I better get them on the bike. Oh, hey, we're in the shed. Aren't you happy to see this place? Look at the state of it, honestly. This is the dog's home now. He's killer guard dog, which is fine. It pays his rent, doesn't it? Right, here's the bars. I've been fettling because where those locating dowels are on the switch gears either side, they were originally in a hole, so they were set at the correct angle and they wouldn't slide around. And if you wanted to pull the clutch, you know, it doesn't sort of come loose and slip off everywhere. So for safety's sake, I've taken the plunge and I have drilled myself some holes. So that is for the right and left hand side underneath there for the right hand side. There's an original hole there. So that's those two locks in. Now, see my very technical marker pen lines on there, look. That was very technical because it's okay just drilling a hole there, but drilling a hole on the underside over there, which has got to be parallel with this one, otherwise your clutch lever is going to be down here and your brake lever is going to be up in the air there, and the mirrors, it's going to be very noticeable. So hopefully, via my calculations by in my calculator and Mr. Pythagoras, I think I've got it right. I'm hoping so. And if we slide along this way a bit further, oh look, we have another opening. I've filed the edges on that, so it's all lovely jubbly. I have some, I wish these helicopters would off. The Apache Indians, right. So there we go. And what is that for? Easy, I hear you cry. Well, I am doing another little additive to the bike, and I need a hole there. All will be revealed once I've galvo painted all three of these holes. I will be putting some sort of rubber grommet in there, of which I have many in the purple box of rubberness. So right, let's go and get that tidied up, galvoed, and I need to do some wiring. Some wiring, I hear you cry. Can you guess what it is yet? Oops, can't say that anymore, can I? Oh, now I can't see that. Answers on a postcard. Right, I have literally, suddenly, I've just walked up from the shed with the bars, and I have literally hit my physical barrier. The balls on my feet are absolutely caning. So we're going to end it there, wrap this one up, and this will be a two-parter. So you'll see what's going on in part two. Incidentally, I will just show you guys what is going on with the drilling of holes. I have bar ends. They have side lights and indicators built in, so they will be in there. I need to do some soldering. Wire edge come out of there, down there, and into the back of the head. Hey, excuse me. Thank you. Filming here. Thank you. So that's that. But boy, all of a sudden, bang! I can't do any more. So that's that. See you again next time at part two. And big hugs. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I'll see you again. Like and subscribe. Thanks again. Bye bye.